Well, welcome back to Retro Tech or Die, and welcome to 2025. It being the new year, I want to kick off the second annual Retro January. If you're unfamiliar, Retro January, I don't know why I'm holding this. Retro January is an event that I started last year that was really just an idea to bring recognition to creators of all kinds in the retro community or borderline the retro community. And the whole idea with it was I found, and I still find this to be true today, that a lot of the good people that I follow, the good creators, the good makers, people that have great content, who are engaged in the community or just doing really, really good things behind the scene, aren't necessarily people that the algorithm pumps out. And they are people that are referred by word of mouth, right? I mentioned these two last year, and I'll mention them again because they are excellent at this. Ron from Ron's Computers videos and Steve from Mac84 are really good at posting, tweeting, sharing new creators, younger creators, smaller creators, or people who are just doing really interesting things in the community because they're involved in the community. And like any community, word of mouth recommendations are the absolute best. I don't need an algorithm to tell me I need to follow somebody. If you tell me to check somebody out, I'm going to watch their videos, right? And I'm going to check it out, and I'll likely follow and do all the other things that come with that. So really the idea behind Retro January is how do we amplify and give one specific area for these word of mouth recommendations. And it's really simple, right? You use hashtag Retro January on whatever social media platform you're on. I also have some artwork. They're not the greatest in the world. I made them pretty quick. Feel free to remix, use, create your own, or just don't use them at all, right? But all I ask is for this month, if there is a creator or somebody that you want to give a shout out to, or maybe it's somebody you're following that doesn't have a lot of subscribers, post about them. Use hashtag RetroJanuary, follow that hashtag, and return the favor. Because I find myself really thankful looking back at 2024. Had a big increase of followers, a lot of interaction with the community. I love talking, texting, tweeting, whatever we call it now, with all of you out there. And that's kind of what makes me continue to do this. And as you see, there's a little more stuff out here right now. I'm in the middle of a bunch of projects, and which is good because it's going to be good content for you. So that's Retro January in a hashtag. And if I look back at last year on X, because I think that had the most traction for it, there were a lot of posts. Now, a lot of these are from me. I'm going to be honest this year, I'm not going to be making a Retro January post every day. That was a lot. That was a lot. I'll make some posts, right? And I don't expect you to do posts every day either, but I want you to share. And I want to do 3 Retro January shout outs tonight. And these are going to be the first ones, my first 3 picks for 2025. It's going to be 1 creator and then 2 businesses, right? Because we need that on both sides. The creator, hey, he's a good friend of mine. I've worked with him over the past year on some side projects, and I just really appreciate his feedback and his friendship. But more importantly, I really enjoy his posts, and that's RetroTech Chris. Because, what I love about, so he does some videos too. Check out his YouTube channel. He just did a new long form video, which I really like. I like your video, Chris, following, hey, look at all this stuff I posted on X, and then you talk about it. Love that. Keep that up, please. But what I really like about his posts on X is just kind of his walkthrough and his storytelling of whatever he's tinkering around with. And a lot of it is, Windows 3.1, Windows 95 era. But, hey, sometimes he's checking out new CD-ROM installations, or just messing around with printers, or what is this one here? Modern generic SVGA drivers for Windows 3.1. Like, it's just cool. And it's not just a post. It's a whole thread. He walks you through it. He tells the story. Chris is a really good he has a way with words and putting a story out there and making it engaging. And it's just really enjoyable. So, Retrotech Chris, my very first 2025 Retro January creator. Like, follow, subscribe. Really great guy. I think you'll enjoy his content. Now, the other two, they are businesses. And there might be some people don't agree with that. Hey, you don't want to push businesses because they're not really creators, but these are important businesses because without them, without one of them, this machine wouldn't be working, and without the other one, I wouldn't have the polish to some of the machines. The first one is Tex Elec, right? So Texas Electrics, they have a lot of really great, unique trinkets, add-ons, fixes that you need, but my biggest push for Texelex are the foam capacitance things for the keypads, right? A lot of these older keypads, they have it's foam and it has a little capacitance metal on the top, and I tried making that from scratch with a punch, similar to the 8-Bit Guys video. Turned out horrible. It was a mess. It was a disaster, but you can just buy it from them. They send you a bag. I was able to replace all these and have some extra. It's important to have businesses or makers or just people who can devote their time, effort, and energy into making parts like this to keep machines like this alive. Because I'm going to be honest with you, after I tried to make those foam myself, I gave up and it sat on the shelf for a while. This is how it is, right? I know the value of my time. I know my patience. I know I know my level of patience. Didn't work for that. So Texelec is number 2. Follow them. Go to their website. I'm sure they have something that you will need for one of your projects, or just keep them in the back of your mind for projects that you might be working on. And the third one, and this is going to be the last time I talk about this individual because I've used them a lot. I post about them frequently because when you're doing a build or you're doing a restoration of a machine, you really have two schools of thoughts, right? You want this machine to be fully custom, whatever you want, right? Or maybe you want it to be as close to stock as possible, right? And, whether it's a vintage computer or, maybe an automobile, like a car that you're restoring or anything you're working on, a lot of the times that make that project just so much better are the little details. And I think one thing that we overlook a lot, especially in custom builds or restoration of commercial machines, are case badges, right? Because they fade, they fall off, they just get cruddy. Or you change the machine a little bit, right? Maybe the badge was 95, now you have Windows 98 on it. Or, it had an Intel and you changed the motherboard, the chipset, now it has an AMD, right? It's those little stickers that make a difference, and quality stickers come from Geek and Spiel. Links for all these will be in the description, but if you go just peruse the website, right? If it's especially a Windows machine, right? But there's Mac and Amiga and other things that they produce as well, but any sticker you want, 3DFX, DOS, Pentium 3s, 4, 386s, I mean, it's all there. And, it's the little details like that really just seal the deal on that build. And especially if it's something that you're going to be displaying, maybe you're going to take that machine off to a show, or just even having in your room. Like, it's just one of those things that that machine I see behind you, it's a gateway. You don't see it. It's right behind the camera. That example was true, right? It was originally built for 98, at least the case was, or no, 95. The case was. I have Windows 98 on it, and this sticker just bothers me because that's not the OS I have on it. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect the performance of the machine. Nobody would really know. And I think no, it has a Pentium. Yeah, the Pentium's right on it. But either way, it's just little things that would bother me. And, getting a proper case badge just really, it sends that build over to the top, right? and it really just makes it so much better. So highly recommend. I've bought from Geek and Spiel. I bought from Tech Select. I will always highly recommend that, and I will buy from them again. And of course, I'm going to continue to follow Retro Tech Chris. Actually, this is this is that's the Panasonic Chris that's sitting over here because I had a shelf break. Printer's fine, don't worry about it. But he sent me this printer up, and I really appreciate that because not Panasonic is a beast of a printer, but it's helping me fine tune some of the 3D printed rollers for those because we're still trying to find a better solution to bring color rollers back to life, or really any rollers back to life in dot matrix printers. I had some really good success with the Image Writer 2, partial success with the Panasonic, but it's a work in progress. So we're getting there. Look for a video of that in the future. So I think it's going to wrap this up. Happy 2025. I really hope all the best for all of you. So if you're a creator, if you're a YouTuber, if you're posting things about retro technology, I hope you get a really good boost this year, whether it comes from hashtag retro January or not. And I wish you, your family, and friends the best of health, luck, and just have a really good year. So I'm going to close this out. I invite you to participate in Retro January, whether it's active or passive. Hopefully we get a good turnout this year. And again, this is Retro January is about all of you. It's about celebrating other creators and highlighting creators, makers, people in and around the retro technology space that just need more followers, right? I think we've all watched a video or followed somebody on social media and said, why does that person only have 200 followers or whatever it is, right? It's about sharing that and recognizing good creators. Thank you.